everybody, this video will cover Lesson 8, Clean Code and Debugging. I'm going to go through these pages here, so listen carefully and follow along to make sure that your code is exactly the way my code is, or at least the tags are correct. Okay, so for the overview, we are still designing web pages in HTML. We are going to be learning how to create errors, which are bugs. It's just a part of a program that does not work correctly. The comment, it is just a note within your computer program that explains the code to people who read it, and it just gives information. Debugging just means finding and fixing those problems within your program. And then indentation and white space. Indentation is just pressing the space bar or hitting the tab key to move information over, so that way it helps your code to be easier to read. And also white space is just hitting the enter key to add some extra blank lines to separate out your code and put it in different sections. It just makes it easier to read. So we have been working on this, and we're going to be, I want you to look over your code. On page 2, when you finish this, your page should look like this without the border here. We're just talking about the heading and the 3 listed items. Okay, so we're going to fix the bugs, and you'll see I've already got this done. So we got in between our body tags, opening and closing, you've got your heading, and then you've got your ordered list, then you got LI, and then your ending LI tag, which is that slash for thing 1. And then thing 2 has its own opening and closing, and then thing 3 has its own opening and closing, and then you're closing out your actual list. So this whole thing refers to your list. Okay, so check your code and make sure it's proper, and once you've corrected it, then go to the next part. I'm going to click finish, and I'm going to go to page 3. This is what your page should look like up here at the top. Cat supplies, cat toys. This is a paragraph, and then you got your 3 listed items. And you'll notice you got 2 different types of headers. Okay, so H1, cat supplies. Cat toys is an H3. Keep your cat entertained, that's a paragraph. Then you've got lasers, catnip toys, and kitty chew toys. You'll see that you got the whole list is an opening ordered list, which is numbers, and a closing order list, which is numbers. So your opening and closing got your 3 listed items. So that's what your code should look like. Okay, let's go to finish. Again, just make corrections as you go. Pause the video if necessary. Now this one up here, this is what your page should look like. Should look similar. So we've got a heading and a paragraph. Then we're going to start our list. This is the type of plant it is, and an image. And then the citation. You'll see it's wikimedia.org public domain. And this here is your second list. Venus flytrap, an image, and the citation. Remember, your citation should be a paragraph. Then you got your third list. The title, your picture, and then your citation, and then the 4th one. Okay, so mine does look that way, so we're going to look at the code to make sure that yours is the way it should be. Okay, so we're going to start with the body tag, and under that we're going to add strange plants. Let me turn my inspector on. So strange plants, over here on the left, H1, opening and closing. Then here, paragraph, opening and closing. You can see it's 1 paragraph, not 2 separate ones, 1 paragraph. Then we're going to open up our list, which is unordered, by the way. And your first listed item, you'll see you've got the opening list tag. Then you've got your H3, opening and closing. Then your image. Be careful and make sure that over here you've got SRC equals, and in quotes, opening and closing quotes, you need to have the exact name of your image, which is located over here. That should be exactly the same. Then you got alt equals, and in quotes, Villo's picture plant, end quote. And then you're going to / and then your bracket. You must close out your image source tag. And then the last part for the first list section is your paragraph. Okay? So that is a list item 1. Villo's picture plant, the image, and then your citation. Okay, the second one is Venus flytrap. And I'm sorry, this is all highlighting differently. Okay, so Venus flytrap. And then you have an image. And then you've got the paragraph. Okay, then the third one, the image, your citation is in a paragraph form. Then you're going to close out your list tag. Then you're going to open up the third list tag. And then you have an H3, the image, and you'll see that I did not put in, let me scroll down. Sorry. I did not put in my alt. Let me turn my inspector off. I'm going to click here. ALT equals, and I'm going to put bear head tooth fungus picture. And then I'm going to do my close quotes. And then you've got the paragraph, close your list tag, and then your unordered list, close that out. Okay? Page 5. Turn my inspector on. Odd cars, H1, closing H1, one full paragraph. This is your heading, H3, opening and closing. And then, this is the only list that we have. Wood car, Oscar Mayer car, LL Bean bootmobile, grass car. And you see that you got the opening or unordered list, closing unordered list. And then you have each item opening and closing. Then you have your picture gallery, which is an H3. You got your first image tag. Make sure yours is correct. And then you've got your paragraph. Then you got your second image tag with the alt. Make sure you close your image tag. Paragraph. Next image source. Make sure you spell it correctly and you got a /. Paragraph. And your last image is the grass car, which is pretty cool looking, by the way. And then you've got your citation, which is enclosed in paragraph tags, and then you've got your closing body in HTML. Pause the video and look at the code and make sure yours is correct. Page 6. We're going to fix bugs in this one as well. And this is cool animals. Now what we're looking at here are the comments. All the comments do is just gives information about what's coming next, and it helps computer scientists, coders, programmers to look at the code and say, oh, okay, I know what that is supposed to be. And when you have the comment, you got the opening bracket, exclamation point, 2 dashes. Then you're going to type whatever you want to type in here, and then to close it, 2 dashes in the closing bracket. Okay? Whatever is in the comment section, does not show up on your web page. Okay? It's just the information purposes only. So now I'm going to click on My Inspector, and we're going to look at this code. So Cool Animals is an H1, and then you have your paragraph tag. Then you will see here starts a comment, list of animals and pictures. So that tells me, oh, I need to open up a list. So the first one we're going to do numbers is an ordered list. Okay? So now this comment says this is about the Bahi fish or the dolphin. So list 1 is H3, paragraph, image source, paragraph or the citation, and then close out your list item. You'll see here, this whole part is your first listed item. Okay? And then we got Stellar Sea Cow. So I'm going to scroll down, and it's going to be Stellar Sea Cow, H3, and you'll see this is your second listed item. And then your paragraph, your image source, and then your other paragraph. And you will see here that Stellar Sea Cow, that is all of that listed item. And the last one is Golden Toad. This is your last listed item. And then you're closing out your ordered list down at the bottom. So over on the right, we've got Golden Toad, which is an H3. This is a paragraph, and this is your image, the Golden Toad. Make sure it is spelled correctly, because I've seen some of yours that the information is not correct. So make sure you spell it correctly and add the alt with the quotes and the /. Okay, so that's number 6. And I'm going to click Finish. We're going to go to page 7. This is just an overview. What you've been doing is called formatting, when you're adding in spaces, fixing bugs, and fixing bugs is something different. But what you've been doing is formatting, adding white space and indentation. I'm going to go back to page 6 for a moment. And you'll see how everything is on its own line. So line 16 is the paragraph. 17 is a blank space. That's called white space. Line 18 has its image. Line 19 has a paragraph. Then you're closing out your list tag. You'll see how everything is separated. I can click here and add another enter. It does not affect my page, but it does make my code easier to read. So all of this is called white space. And then if I'm clicking and I'm adding spaces, or if I hit the tab key, tab doesn't work here, but on other programs it would. If I hit the space bar, it just adds in space to help indent, to make it look better and easier to read. So that's all you've been doing, is formatting your code to make it easier to read. And we talked about white space, indentation, and then comments. And then the last page. This was very confusing, so what I did was I went through and I put everything on a line by itself to make it easier to read. So let's look at this one. Your body tag. You got, under the title and instruction, you got growing cranberries. Then your paragraph. Then it says list of seasons, and then winter is your first one. So let's go ahead and open up our unordered list and then give winter an H2 heading, paragraph, and then close out your list. And then you got spring, but this is your second listed item. paragraph. Then you'll see that there is a tag or comment that says there's a picture of cranberry flowers. So after the paragraph, you'll see the comment on line 22. Then 23 is your image. Then you got your paragraph. Then you're closing out that listed item. Let me scroll down. Summer. Summer is an H2. This is our third listed item. And then we've got petals fall off the flowers. This is paragraph. Then you're closing out your listed item. There are no images for this one. So this is your third listed item. Your fourth listed item, fall, H2, paragraph. And then you got the comment on 36 saying that there should be an image coming. And then 37 is where you put your image. And then you're adding in your paragraph. Then you close out the list for your third one or fourth one, and then you close out the entire listed information, and then you got body in HTML. Make sure there's no other code after the UL there, that you close it out. Okay, so that's it. Pause the video, go back and rewind if you need to, but make sure your code looks like mine. If you have any questions, please see me and I'll be glad to help. Thank you.